Hello everyone, welcome to my show, and this is one of its kind. This is a live show, so welcome to Life of Dev episode 1. And why I have started this show is that we have been talking about a lot of code and everything, a lot of seminars and a lot of online talks in this 2020. And because it is ending, so I thought like I should start something new, and that's where this show comes, Life of Dev, where I want you to watch many of the people you might have been following them on Twitter and Instagram and some other places, but you don't know their story, right? How they grown up, how everything happened, and how they become what they are today, or even how they are trying their best to survive and changing the world. So that's the idea. And I'm fortunate enough that I got a lot of responses when I asked people that who wants to appear in this show, which is one of its kind. And I'm really happy that I could do it. So today I have one person with me who is like very good friend and much more experienced than me for sure, and I really want to welcome him on this show. And we will start with him, and he's none other than Thomas Burkhart. If I'm not pronouncing it, sorry Thomas if there is a mistake. By the way, he is like, I met him like I guess 2 years back or 3 years back, somewhere in one of the Flutter events, and he is a Flutter enthusiast as well, and he has been doing a lot of Flutter. And I just want him to come on the show. So let's do it. Okay, here he is. Hi, Thomas. Welcome
Hi,
to the
Pavan.
show.
Great to see you again.
Thank you so much for joining this Life of Dev series. And this is the first episode. I'm really glad to have you here. And you know what? Like, I'm going to ask you so many questions today. So I hope you are ready.
I'm ready. You can ask me anything.
That's the spirit. So as you can see, like Thomas is looking very energetic, like me as well. That's why I'm standing. Like I feel when I'm standing, I'm more energetic. So we will start without wasting any time by asking you the first question, Thomas. That please introduce yourself.
Okay. Yeah, my name. You pronounce me perfectly, Thomas Burkhart,
Okay,
and
cool.
yeah, I'm living in Germany in Bonn, which is close to Cologne, and I work now as a freelance developer with most of the time with Flutter. I've got a family with two great kids, and it's a little bit colder here than at your place.
Yeah.
Outside, it's drizzling cold and ugly. And there's not so much to say at the moment about me.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like the cold is here more than compared to your place, because I have wear this hoodie. But actually, I think that's 3 degrees Celsius at your place, right?
Yeah,
If I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here it is, I think 15 plus. Okay, so Thomas, how did you start this journey of being a developer? Like, can you take us back in, give us a flashback, like how you started coding and everything?
Yeah. I often call myself a legacy system because I guess I'm one of the one of the oldest members of the Flutter community. Uh,
Yeah.
I started my journey with computers with a Commodore C64,
Mhm.
which was
Oh.
something around 1985, I would
Oh,
say.
I was not born at that time. So
Yeah. So you have to have really a time, no internet, no mobile phones.
yeah.
Um, but we had as we started with home computers. I switched then pretty fast to the Commodore Amiga, which was for this time an extremely advanced system compared to what Windows 3.1 did at this time. And I was a typical in school I was a typical nerd. I didn't do sports. I was not one of the strongest. I did not hang out with the smoking guys. So it was a little bit
I,
difficult.
Yeah, I can feel you. I'm the same kind of person.
But I had a great older friend, Uli,
Mhm.
and he is really an computer science genius. You can see it differently, and
Yeah.
I learned with him from him programming. And one of the first things that we did at this time was that we developed our own programming language and developed a
Oh wow.
compiler for the Amiga.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I learned a lot in this time, and unfortunately the Amiga Commodore got bankrupt. Everything changed, and we moved over to the PC.
Yeah.
And, actually, on the PC, it was a little bit crazy. On the Amiga, people were willing to pay insane amounts of money for additional hardware. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
For example, you can imagine that you had you could buy faster processor cards to boost everything. And if I talk fast, yeah, you got from 16 megahertz up to 50 megahertz, yeah. And this was huge at this time, yeah. And also, my first hard disk on there was about 20 megabytes, yeah.
Today, who cares about 20 megabytes? Like it's nothing.
But the good thing about this is what I learned from this time is that computer resources are you should be careful with computer resources, yeah. And if you have followed this thread on Twitter yesterday or so about the Uber app with 300 megabytes, and I was like, oh God, it's insane, yeah, it's insane. I did. We started another company at this time and on the PC with a lot of. We did video hardware and video software, and I almost got a millionaire, but only almost, because I left the company a little bit too early, and they sold it afterwards for really a lot of money. And I did. For some time, actually in parallel in this time I studied computer science, but this was more or less only to get a degree. So my final rate isn't that good. It's about I think my degree I have a 3.0 and 1 is good, yeah. So it's and my at this time one of the professor that was could care for me at this time told me, I know you are a much better programmer than this thesis is, but I can't give you more. So but it was okay. And then I had I worked for a company where I was responsible for the development for fully automatic passport and travel document verification and reading device. Yeah. So we had really, I was my baby. I was in this project. It's really you have to imagine a box where you put your passport on a class plate, and it gets illuminated with different wavelengths, and you take pictures. We had an embedded PC in there with Windows CE at this time, and we programmed in C++, all this stuff. And this was really an amazing experience, because I had to coordinate not only the software but also our electronic department and the thing. And I really enjoyed to see something completely getting built. And we worked for really almost 2 years. In high schedules. At the end, we worked through weekends, because we knew there is a big tender coming up for all German borders. This would have been the absolute important reference project for our device.
Yeah.
and actually we won, but
But
our competitor,
yeah.
they went to court, and because the
Oh.
tender had some mistakes in it, they were able to kick us out.
Okay.
And actually, this was really, really, drastic event for me, because as I said, this was my baby, and this was, I would say, one of the worst experiences that I had, and it led to me that I fell in a depression for about half a year,
I
and
did.
and actually it's something that I still today from time to time I struggle with this, and but at the same time, we had our first child. Our son was born, and my wife finished her doctor's thesis. So, and she said, okay, she wanted to also to work in her job then, and then I said, okay, you know what, I am I could imagine to stop for a short period of time, and and do some. Oh wait, I have to. Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, Thomas is coming back. By the way, if you have any questions, we have a separate separate time period for the questions. But if you want to ask something in between, you can do it via super chat, because then I'll be able to answer quickly, because I can see your questions. And now coming back to Thomas.
Okay. I shared just the screen with you because what I then did was that I worked for
Yeah,
4 years.
1 second. I
Yeah,
would definitely love to share
yeah.
this.
For 4 years, I was working as a professional magician.
Oh, this is you.
That's me. Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing it for the first time, man. I didn't know that this is quite
Yeah.
amazing.
Actually, there is one performance. Is on YouTube that I did, a crazy
Wow, man.
one.
Wow.
And I did this before as a hobby, and I said, okay, let's do this, and I want to have I want to care more about my kids, and this
Okay.
time, and my wife could start fully into her job, and
I'm
I did this.
definitely, by the way, screenshotting this particular thing, and I'm gonna share this on many platforms now.
Yeah,
This is why I started this show, because nobody knew, like, right? Thomas is a magician, so I hope you are gonna show some trick on this show as well. I'm just
no,
assuming. No.
unfortunately, no. I have to say I stopped doing magic now. I think 4 years ago. Completely.
My bad.
And it was some point that I just felt it didn't feel right at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and the thing was this was one of the things that I did in between, and then was I came back to the IT because of the kids.
But this
And
magic thing, like, how did it started? Like, what that there is always something which makes you feel that, okay, I have to do this. What
exactly,
made you do this, right? This magic.
exactly. The magic. This
Yeah.
is really, I did this before for a long time as a hobby, and it was really for me the point after this almost a year outside of the job with the depression that I was thinking, okay, perhaps I should do something else for some time,
Yeah.
and also important to give my wife the chance to start really into her job, yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually led to my current very comfortable situation that she that works full time, and I have quite a lot of freedom in what I'm doing here. Yes, otherwise I couldn't do a lot of community work, for example. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I
and
can understand.
but then came the point that our kids got a little bit older, and I don't know if I think it's a very German thing. I have to say we have a long tradition that children love audiobooks. Yeah, and or not only audiobooks, but it's more radio plays. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we could buy them on CDs. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
So the problem is with CDs and small kids, they get scratched all the time. And then suddenly I got from my older sisters a whole bag with old micro cassettes with old from my childhood with radio plays on it. And I was
Mm.
suddenly thinking, hey, this thing they were much more better for kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
there should be a possibility to do this today. And so I started thinking, what about a player where I can put on an RFID card, which I learned
Mm.
while I was working on the passport project before. I learned about
Mhm.
RFID cards,
Yeah.
and that you can, with the idea, you have the image of your play on the card, and you put it on the player, and it plays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah, and for this, I started to teach myself designing digital electronic boards with a microcontroller on it.
I,
And
I have no idea. Like at that time, I was not even born, so I don't know like how you used to manage all these things all together. Man, this is
oh,
very amazing.
it was really a journey. And digital electronics is not really difficult. I have really to say, it's more or
Hmm.
less like Lego. You plug
Yeah,
things together. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You read in data sheets. You know, okay, it has this and this pins, and you can
Hmm.
connect this one to another one. If you get into the analog area, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's black magic. It's I Yeah, and unfortunately, and we got pretty far with this project, and
Yeah.
I did microcontroller programming. Unfortunately, again, um, it shouldn't be that I make this the big project. In the meantime, another company has realized some similar thing and sells
Oh,
it en masse. And yeah, so I was back, and I was not sure what I would do. And in this time, I started making baking bread. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see some from time to time that I post pictures of bread,
yeah.
loaves or rolls or croissants
I,
or
I I have
pretzels.
seen it. I have seen it.
um, and while I was doing this,
Yeah.
I was thinking, or you have to know when you do something like this, sometimes it's difficult to manage the process when you create dough, yeah, because you have to take time, you have to wait, and all this stuff. And I thought, you know what, this calls for an app. We should have an app for this, yeah.
Yeah.
And so for me I was pretty clear, when I want to do something like this, it has to be cross-platform, because I don't want to have to do this twice.
Mm.
And so I started to work with Xamarin Forms to be exact.
When was the time like when you started this? Like few years
This is
back, I think.
this is about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
This was
around
about
2015, 16, right? Like because that was the time when Microsoft acquired Xamarin, right?
exactly. And actually it was pretty. I started half a year before. I
Hmm.
bought Xamarin at this time for, I think, $900. Yeah,
Hmm.
and half a year later, you could have it for free. It
Yeah,
was a
I
little bit.
remember.
I was only slightly pissed off. Yeah, only slightly.
But by the way, do you know like I have worked on Xamarin as well?
Pardon?
I do you know like I have worked on Xamarin as well for some
Ah,
time?
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Also with
So
Xamarin Forms.
yeah,
Ah,
like
okay.
only on Xamarin Forms actually.
Only on
So,
Xamarin Forms. Yeah.
yeah, so I worked on Xamarin around 2015 to around like mid of 2017,
Mm-hmm.
like around maybe
Mm-hmm.
1.5 years or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And the reason was like almost yours, right? I was a native Android developer, but then I thought like I had to make some projects for my client, and that was like like on like he wanted a cross-platform kind of thing which I could use so that we don't have to write the code twice. And
Mm,
then I joined another company. They had the requirement for Xamarin as well and Android as well.
mm,
So that's when I started Xamarin. And the reason for my interest in Flutter was also because of Xamarin at some point, because I was checking all the cross-platform options available, and then Xamarin had some of the things which were missing at that time, and that made me search for something better. And
mm.
that's when I found Flutter in 2016, I guess, like 4 years back, when it was the stage of Flutter at that time.
Oh, really? So that early? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I was completely ignorant of Flutter at this time, and unfortunately, also
Me too.
my bread baking app never got done because I got off from some really old contact the question. Oh, you know what? We are working here on a project for an American startup, and they
Hmm.
need also a mobile app. Could you do this? Okay, I did this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as it happens with startups often, they ran out of money after some time.
Hmm.
The good thing was, and this is also an a recommendation: if you ever work for a startup, only
Yeah.
work for by the hour. Yeah. So because you never know if they will run out of money. Also, you don't have to feel bad about it, because typically they don't use their own money, but they use money from venture capital companies that have too much
Yeah.
money. Uh,
Correct.
so always work on the hour for startups. And so they
That's a
ran out
good
of money.
suggestion. Someone should write it down because that's actually a good suggestion, and this is actually true.
Yeah, I have experienced it. I think 2 or 3 times. Yeah, the situation.
Yeah.
And actually, I love to work with startups because uh, I'm not very organized. I have to say this. I'm not an organized person.
Okay,
Um,
so now here, like, we are back to 2020, I guess.
yeah,
So since you are saying
but
that
no,
you're
no,
not
not really,
organized.
not really. I have to tell you how I have to get how I got to Flutter. This is
Okay, done. Okay. I have some an amazing question for you.
sure.
Okay.
The thing was, I had again I think a longer break because of health issues. And when I came back, I thought, okay, let's continue with one of the apps that I started, and let's update Visual Studio. Let's update all packages, and nothing
Hmm.
built anymore.
Yeah.
I think 2 hours later, still I was not able to build anything. Yeah, uh, the tool really at this time, the tooling of Xamarin often sucked.
Yeah.
They got much better in the meantime, I know, but at
Hmm.
this time I was really pissed at this day. And yeah, coincidentally, one day before, Google made their beta announcement of Flutter, and so I said, oh, let's give it a try. And I was honestly, from going to the web page till
Hmm.
the classic demo app was running on an emulator, it took me 20 minutes. And I thought, wow, that's nice. So let's continue there. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think why I even tried Xamarin was because of C Sharp, because
Yeah.
I used to love C Sharp. I still do.
Yeah.
But I never liked Java that much because I have been a native Android developer for some years, and
Mhm.
I always wanted to get rid of Java somehow, because I am still not a fan of Java, because like many people definitely love Java. I don't have so many complaints, but yes, when it was C Sharp, all the things which we used to get, even like small things used to matter a lot for me. So that was the reason I picked Xamarin. And then when I was looking for Flutter, then like at that time Flutter was very early, and I just stopped it for some time, that okay, I'll come back to it. And then I came back to that after maybe 6 months or so, when
Mhm.
Flutter was in alpha, and then I started playing with it. So yeah, I mean, I have even a longer story about it. But yeah, that is the short form story. That yeah, it was fun actually. It
Yeah,
was
but
really fun.
actually, it was the same for me. I completely ignored Java. I came from C++, and I
Yeah,
was on the Microsoft in the Microsoft world. So
mm,
I jumped to C#, and so for me it was C#. Yeah, sure, Xamarin. Yeah, that's perfect.
yeah,
But the nice thing is with Dart that if you come from C#, actually
exactly. I know
you
what you are telling.
you can directly start.
Yeah,
What I did after this first app was running, I
yeah,
did the directly started with the getting started tutorial. On one screen,
yeah.
I had opened I just had opened the Dart language guide, the language
Hmm,
tour, so that I can, if something was strange, I could have a look at this.
hmm.
But it was nothing that I couldn't directly write. Yeah, it was easier in many cases. Yeah, because
Yes,
Dart is so simple. Yeah, it's
exactly.
one of the things that I really love about this language, honestly. Yeah, because
and
it's
and and I think Dart has picked so many things from, good things actually from these languages. So the reason I used to love C sharp was because of two things. One, how it used to handle the asynchronous programming,
Mhm.
and the second was link you. Okay, like it was one of the greatest
Mhm.
thing about C sharp, right? Because I had to do a lot of database stuff at that time, and
Mhm.
yeah, when you use link, it just makes your life very very easier.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that and I found like most of the similarities in Dart, and even the syntax was almost the same. So then I thought like this is it. This
yeah,
is
yeah,
where
yeah.
I can gamble a little bit, and maybe it will work in the long time.
Yeah. No, it's really if I look at Dart today,
Yeah.
if I compare what the development of Dart at the moment to that
Hmm.
of C# in the last years, yeah. For me, I think C# is on the wrong road because they added a huge amount of features. I think my current C# knowledge is C#5, I would say, yeah.
Same.
And
Yeah.
it's not long ago I saw a piece of C# code, 2 lines,
Hmm.
and I was looking on them, and and I had no idea what the hell is this thing doing.
Yeah.
Uh, they added some things that allow you to write extremely concise code, very
Hmm.
compressed, but it gets unreadable. It's really a
Yeah.
problem.
And I think it's a very debatable topic, because why I would say that is because if you see the modern way of writing apps in most of the platforms, let's say even if you take the example of Kotlin, right,
Hmm.
then you will find this level of abstraction that you don't know what's exactly happening behind the scenes. And that's when the people who have been doing coding for all these years, right, like maybe 7 to 8 years or 10 years, they know what exactly has changed and how these code became that much concised, right?
Hmm.
But those people who are directly jumping to or are learning these languages for the first time, they don't actually know, and they don't even bother to know that how things work. Because I know, like, it's very tough to actually look into like everything, right? When you have so much less time and you have to
Hmm.
explore a lot of things.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate to that. So Thomas,
yeah,
I have a very very good question for you,
yeah.
which I'll ask probably with everyone. Okay,
Hmm.
so because you're saying that you are unorganized, so tell us
Yeah.
about your schedule, like how your schedule looks like.
You mean my daily schedule?
Yes, steady schedule.
Okay. Honestly, that's definitely a point that I'm still struggling with.
Okay,
Because
I think every other
if
developer
you
is
are working
struggling.
from home, and I currently and especially 2020 was pretty tough for me. Just the whole situation was not really good for my psyche.
Hmm.
So the and yeah, I spent way too much time at the moment on social media, I would say. So my Twitter time is way too much. But yeah, I stay up. I typically I stay up in the morning with the kids. So
Hmm.
around 7 o'clock. Sometimes my wife lets me sleep. That's nice. Then it's comfortable. And then I typically go quite a lot of on social media, check everything out, and at some point I say, okay, now I should start working. And I know there are a lot of people.
I have the same kind of time management, but yeah, I haven't. It's fine.
I highly sometimes I'm finding words. I really adore people who are able to do this very, very, very organized things. I think Don Felker is one of these persons. Yeah, then he tweets about it, how many time he's working and what he's doing, and I say, yeah, that's okay, but it's also difficult. And then the other point is also what's not easy is to decide what are you doing now, because I'm in the comfortable situation that I don't have to bring that much money home, because my wife has really a good job. Yeah. Which means that often it may be much more interesting to start a new package, to write some new open source package, than to do some small detail on your project that you have, and you should fix this, and okay, I can do this tomorrow. I just want to now get it to null safety, for example. Yeah, this is interesting. No, and then often it really happens that it can be that some days I will be up late in the evening. What really helps, sometimes I join a virtual office with Simon Slidefoot from London. So we both have on one screen. We have a running Zoom session over the afternoon, and we are just working for us own. And from time to time, we can chat a little bit.
But you are already doing so many things and still saying that you are not working. It's a part of work, I would say.
Yeah, it is. It is. And actually, I see from feedback that I get that also this time that I spent on social media is a lot of people enjoy get something out of it. So yeah.
Okay, so tell me one thing, which is I really want to ask you, because you are from Germany. What's in the soil of Germany that every Indian wants to work there? Like, what's amazing about Germany, as like maybe the tech culture or what? I don't know, because
I honestly, I think we are currently really in an. If I look around the world, what's going on in a lot of different countries, Germany is in the lucky situation that we have still a strong economy. We are a very secure country, so you normally, for example, that is something that Americans friends always sometimes don't understand. That I say it's no problem to walk in the nights through our city. I'm not afraid that somebody will mug me or so. Yeah, it's just it's really rare, and and then we have a good healthcare system, good university. So I think that's a reason that people really like this, and also we are still one of the countries that have a lot of freedom for people. Yeah, so
yes. I think one of the things which I know is like Germany is not that expensive if you compare with US, UK, and then what you earn is actually good. So it's like there are some countries like US where you earn more, but you have like more expenses as well as compared to Germany. So I think that is one of the good reasons. And apart from that, obviously security, health, and everything is like good manageable in Germany.
Especially if you are in computer science or on programmer, you get really decent wages in Germany. That's the case, yeah, and especially in relation to the costs that we have, because if you hear sometimes that Google pays 200K or so, but then you read about the housing costs in
Exactly.
there, then it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, yeah. And
especially when you are like staying in California or maybe at those kind of places which are kind of very much famous, like say Silicon Valley or maybe some of the states in US, right? Like which are very much popular.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we move to rapid fire, like I have prepared one rapid fire for you, which will have 10 like pickup questions. But
Yeah.
before that, I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
And guys, before we proceed to rapid fire, please like the video if you haven't liked, subscribe to the channel. If you really love Thomas, me, or this concept at least, and see that's the thing about knowing a journey of a developer. What you see is just I think 10% of it which like the person goes through. And I also never knew that Thomas was a magician at once, and what a great story that is. So okay, Thomas, coming back to the question, what do you think, like what is the best part of this tech industry, and what do you think is the worst thing about this tech industry? Two things which you have to choose.
Okay.
That's a tough one. I know.
The worst part of this industry, in my opinion, is that too few developers think about ethics in their work. Because otherwise things like Facebook wouldn't be possible. Yeah, this is definitely
Yes.
one of the things that people say, okay, and especially in California, they don't question if it's a good case what they are working for, or is it in reality something that will hurt society, will hurt other people.
Yeah.
The good thing is on the other side, and I see this more and more, that it gives the chance to people that are typically not so privileged to start in a job that wouldn't be possible before. Yeah. So I was talking yesterday with a developer from Nigeria, for example. Yeah. And he told me, yeah, he is working for a German company remotely. And this is something, this wouldn't be possible without the internet, without what we are doing. And also I have to say, we have to be extremely grateful for the community that we have with Flutter, yeah? Because I know from other communities that they are much less friendly, that there's sometimes they can be really nasty, what I've been told, especially to women. And we have so we can be really lucky how we are here, and this is one of the best things in my experience, for example. And one of really what I get back from the community is something that is I'm extremely grateful, and it helps me a lot. Yeah, yesterday? I think 2 days ago, I thought, okay, let's set up my GitHub sponsors page, yeah. And I was completely floored that I think within an hour or so, I had my first sponsor, and it was really, wow, this is amazing, yeah. There are sometimes I've got a feeling. I think GitHub is extremely good what they are doing there, because it seems that a lot of people they would love to give you, yeah, but they don't know why, how, or so I'm really I'm enjoying this at the moment very much. Also, I'm enjoying all the people that I got to know. I mean, Pavan, I don't know how. If I look at my Twitter followers, yeah, I never have thought that I would get so many people from India, yeah, or from Africa.
Yeah.
And I can
relate with it.
This is and thanks to Google, I have really to say, compared to when I was working for Microsoft, Google is so helpful to people that are active in the community. So the thing that we all got invited last year to New York, for example, yeah, and they flew in active people from the community from all around the world, yeah, and this is in order to meet you all in person. This is something, I'm really grateful for this.
And I think the reason is, like you mentioned about Google and the sponsorship. The first thing about sponsorship is that that money might not be, so much, or it doesn't matter. But the feeling which you get, like when someone sponsor you, even with $1, let's say, right?
Yeah.
It's a different level feeling.
For example,
So
my first
yeah,
sponsor that I got was I think $5. Yeah,
hmm.
and
Yeah,
no, no, $10. I think,
yeah.
and then in the next morning I got a $5 sponsorship. And I looked, and it came from Nigeria, and this was for me really, because it was totally clear for me $5 is something completely different for them than it
Yeah.
would be for me. Yeah, and
Exactly. I
this is
also know many people from Ghana, Nigeria, right? Because they have a really good number of people working on Flutter, to be
Mhm,
honest. And they are like so much enthusiastic about,
mhm,
technology and everything. I receive a lot of message, and I really feel very sorry when I'm not able to respond to everyone, right, all the time. But yeah, I definitely read things, and I try to even reply most of the time whenever I can. But
mhm.
yeah, I definitely love those people who are actually struggling more than any of us probably. And like they have still so much faith in themselves and so much faith in the community and the technology. And yeah, they're doing really good. So just wanted to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, definitely. This is amazing. For example, also what people always or most people don't know, um, if you are that public on Twitter, for
Yeah.
example,
Hmm.
and I also have my PMs are open, so
Hmm.
I regularly get questions directly over PM, that I have some technical questions, and if it's
Hmm.
able that I can help them in a short, I do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always prefer, please tag
Hmm.
me in the public tweet, in the public
Hmm.
stream, because then other can also profit from it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
also
correct.
it takes time. Yeah, and
Hmm.
then to see, okay, there are people that are willing to to give back. It's just yeah, it gives completely different perspectives. Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe I can really at some time point spend
Hmm.
most of my time on packages and not on other projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And even like I think that's why I'm even doing these kind of sessions. I do a lot of live streams so that I can actually talk to them, because it's tough when you have a lot of places, and when you have a lot of things to do. So I definitely like this idea to get some time to talk to people. Either like there are so many Indians I know who
Mhm.
are very much enthusiastic to learn new things, but they have so many questions. Because see, that the situation is like, I have seen that myself. Like when I was in college, I had so many questions, and I know how it feels when there is no one to answer those questions, right?
Mhm.
Or you don't know how to reach to some of the people. Let's say if I am very much interested in working in Google, I don't know who I can
Mhm.
ask, like how I can get into Google. And that is one of the questions which you will like see everywhere, right?
Mhm.
And I know now why people don't generally answer this question and what might be the reasons. But still, I feel that there should be a lot more interactions. Like it's like you can, with just one single interaction, you can change someone's life. And
Yeah.
that's been the motto of my entire journey myself. But today we are talking about you.
Yeah.
So I think I have so many questions, by the way. But before we go further, we'll start with the rapid fire, and then I'll ask you a few more questions.
Okay.
So, for rapid fire, we are just gonna take 10-20 seconds, and then we will be back. Okay, so we are back again with rapid fire, of course. And I
Okay.
have questions on my phone, by the way.
How
So,
does it work? How does it work? What's the
okay,
rapid
I'll
fire?
give you an example. I'll give you two options, and you have to choose one quickly.
Mhm.
Like you don't have time. Okay, you
Okay.
cannot think. Okay, I
Okay.
mean it should be very much natural. Okay, so
Okay.
that's the idea. By the way, with every new episode, I'll bring something new. So that's the concept actually. I don't want to leak everything, but yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
your rapid fire starts now, and then we will move further, and we'll take some of the questions from the audience as well. There are lot of people responding on LinkedIn YouTube everywhere. I
Okay.
definitely want them to ask some questions to you. Okay, so here we go with rapid fire. Okay, so Thomas, first, family or work?
Family.
Flutter or Xamarin?
Flutter.
Dart or C Sharp?
Dart.
Remote job or non-remote job?
Remote.
Okay. Working in day or working in night?
Both.
No, that cannot be the answer. One thing, which you will
Okay.
prefer? Day.
Day.
Day. Yeah, same. Okay, India, UK, or US, where you want to go? Like, what is your next agenda?
India.
Where India,
India.
right?
I wasn't.
Welcome.
I haven't been there. And I'm highly curious about it.
Sure. We definitely want you to be here, and I'm here to host you. So anytime, whenever you want, you can come here. Okay,
And
so
I love Indian food.
awesome. We are waiting for you. Okay, so another one. Passion or non-passionate high salary job? Like, did you get it? Either it can be passionate but maybe less salary, or
Oh,
not
passionate.
passionate but high
Passionate.
salary job.
Passionate, definitely.
Passion. Okay, awesome. Veg or non-veg? Like,
Hmm?
what do you prefer? Veg or non-veg?
Which
Vegetarian or non-vegetarian?
can you just repeat it? I didn't get it.
Maybe the question is not for you. Okay, veg or non-veg?
You mean vegetarian or? Okay. Sorry. No.
Okay. Physical school or online classes?
I would say mixed, but online classes are important.
Okay, so you have more weightage towards online classes? That's what you mean? That's a tough one, actually.
No, I think it really depends. 2020 is special. Normally, I would always say physical.
Exactly. Okay, last one. More peace or more money?
More peace.
Awesome.
That's
So, yes, you successfully passed the rapid fire. That was a tough one, by the way, but yeah, amazing. Okay, one question I really want to ask you is that what do you think you would change? Okay, if you will have like free powers to change one thing, what will be that? Like that should be possible as well. It's not like you will say that I will go to past and change things. But right now, what you would like to change if you get that much power?
anything in the world.
Yeah, anything in the world.
I would destroy Facebook.
Are you listening, Mark Zuckerberg? Maybe Mark Zuckerberg will not be happy after this. But when you destroy Facebook, then you have to destroy Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp as well. No? Yes.
Yeah. Or give WhatsApp the people back that they had.
Okay.
But
Okay.
definitely change the social media landscape, because it's hurting everywhere, every society.
Okay, Thomas. So I'm giving you 2 minutes, and I would want you to talk about your projects, even the past one, if you want to share, or current one, or next projects, whatever you want to share.
I can show you if you want.
Yes, sure.
Just that's a good question.
So, guys, in the meantime, please help us with the
the
like.
right one.
And,
Wait. I have to
subscribe.
see that I get the correct screen.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
That's good.
And I hope everyone is
Okay.
enjoying this life of dev. And we have the projects now. I am gonna show you, and then we will take your questions as well. So don't go anywhere. And here we go. Okay. No, it didn't work. Yes, now it's working.
This here is actually a project that I do now for quite some time. The great thing about it is, I just tried with the mouse to move the map inside the video and not the real one. What you see here is this is a client. In this case, it runs on Windows. But it also it's for the mobile phone. It's a client for a drone detection system. And we have here, this is actually an aerial photograph of Heathrow. We have here certain antennas, and I can make it a little bit more interesting, the look. So
By the way, this is in Flutter, so it's awesome.
this is Flutter, yeah. This is Flutter, and it is, if we look here, now the amazing thing is, I wouldn't, without Flutter, this wouldn't be possible, yeah, in this way.
But this is a desktop app, right?
Pardon? This is the
This is
desktop
a
app, but the
awesome.
same, the exactly same code runs on the phone. And if I do this here,
Oh, this is responsive as well. Awesome.
now we are in. We see now we see how it looks like on when you're on the mobile phone, yeah.
Yeah.
And normally if it's the phone, I can even switch on some sort of targeting mode with the compass involved, that you can aim with your phone and go in the direction that you where a drone is. Yeah.
So nice.
And this is really one of the. It's an amazing project, especially that it's something that it has nothing to do with any databases that I have to fill or something like this. And it was actually what you see up here. It's a lot of custom painters involved, yeah. And I had to. This is a map component that I developed based on the Flutter map package.
This looks like a surveillance system, by the way, from the
it is.
external,
It is
right?
in a way to detect drones that are not allowed to be there, yeah.
Yeah.
And
but this thing which you have done, like, this animation, it's just looking really, really cool.
Yeah.
The lights and all.
And with custom painters, this is just so easy to do. Yeah, it's
yeah, awesome.
So what this app actually does, it pulls the actual data from the system that runs. In this case, currently it runs on my machine too. It's a C++ app that in reality will analyze radio data and is able to say where is the drone, and also because they use a neural network below, it is able to say exactly what brand of drone is there, yeah, what sort is this, and we can also say, oh, and where is the guy with the remote control, yeah. We can there is he, there is he, yeah.
Nice icon of the remote controller, by the way.
Yeah. So we can actually these are the so we can really tell where is this guy and what sort of system is he using, yeah. And so what I do here, I poll every 50 milliseconds or so. I poll a REST endpoint on this server app and create this view from it.
Awesome.
So this is and the nice thing is this company makes it. I'm really very, very lucky in this case.
What's the name of this company? Artos or
Artos is the product name of the system. The company is called Aronia.
Okay.
I can share it. I can wait. I share a link with you.
By the way, guys, in the description, you can find more links of Thomas and about him as well. So please check them out as well and follow him on Twitter as well. And I think the ID is right in front of you, which Thomas has in the lower part of his video. So @Thomas Burkhart B, I guess. Yeah. And Thomas has also written some packages for Flutter, by the way. So Thomas, would you want to give just 1 minute and talk about it?
Just 1 second.
Okay.
So, okay, because there you get more information. I mean, I pasted it in the chat. I hope you see this. You get this?
Yeah, 1 second.
This is it's a YouTube clip with this app in parallel on the emulator and the PC. Okay. And there's also links to the company. If some part
do you want me to play it?
Yeah. Or share a link.
Yeah, 1 second. I can play it as well, guys. Let me just give it a try. And Not this one. Yeah, I think this one, right?
Yeah, exactly. There you see the two versions directly on each other, and it's
Yeah.
we can add a link to the description later.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wrote several packages. That's right. Actually, I have always too much package ideas that I cannot really do all of
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
I think my most well known is Get It, my
Yeah.
service locator package,
Yeah.
hmm, which I
Yes. So I think we can put the link in the description for
yeah.
those as well. So there is a Get It package. If you are someone who wants to play with state management and everything, you can check it out as well. And service locator as well. Maybe like you will thank Thomas later, but yeah, I mean they will be definitely useful for your projects. Okay, so what should be next? Okay, so Thomas, I think the next question or next not question but rather suggestion, I would want you to tell people what will be your tips for them, like who, for three kind of people. One will be who are very new to programming,
Mhm.
one who are already into programming, okay, or have some experience, and third one for Flutter developers. Okay, because we are Flutter developers, so that they get that advantage, right?
Okay. First of all, and I think that there is addressed to all of them.
Yeah.
It's really, don't be afraid to start digging into some new topic that you haven't used before. Often it looks much more scary than it is in reality. Yeah, and
Yeah.
uh, it's in fact that people that are coming new into into our world, they don't know, or they can't know that if you are for some time in this in our field, you will realize that a lot of new trends, lot of new hyping things. If you look behind it, you see certain patterns, certain
Yeah.
ways it works. When say, "Oh, that's not so new. We did this for years. Yeah, it has a new fancy new name, and it is, and suddenly you understand. Okay, it's we all. I don't know if it is translate. We say, "Oh, we all cook with water." Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a really not so much special. And
Correct.
I so don't be afraid. Dig into thing. It's completely okay to not know something. Ask ask also for new developers a point that a good thing is really join some open source package. You can help with little things. You can start there, yeah,
Yeah.
and often you get a lot of feedback. You can find mentors on this way.
Yeah.
Um, an important point, really, and this is, I think, this especially the audience also especially in India or in any of the developing countries. If you work for Western countries, don't sell yourself too cheap. This is
Yeah.
really one thing that I want to say.
Guys, please note it down. This is one of the most important tips which someone will give you.
Because the point is it has two reasons. First, they will exploit you, and the other thing is it also hurts us in our countries. Yeah, and honestly, I don't see any reason why should a programmer in India paid less than
Yeah.
or at least in some. There may be a little bit of relation because you have other living costs, for example. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
not possible that you work for a tenth of what we are working, for example. Yeah, this is wrong.
That's true.
So don't sell yourself too cheap there, and yeah, and the other point is really if you want to. People often think, oh, how do you get to projects? How can I? And especially in Flutter, we have at the moment we are still in a situation we are early. So
Yeah.
the market is opening. We will get much more interest, much more requests from this, and
Exactly.
so it's worth to start building your brand. And this is really, social media is an extremely important point for this. Start writing blog posts, and suddenly you will realize that people come to you and they ask you for things, yeah. And you are definitely in a better situation if they come to you when it comes to talk about money than if you try to get to them, yeah. So make yourself visible.
That's true. So thank you, Thomas. And I see someone saying that David is saying that he didn't knew that Get It is done by you. So he's thanking you for making Get It.
Yeah. This is the thing. I have some of my packages are in the Flutter community organization integrated. So people don't often know who is behind it. So RX command is also one of mine.
Yeah.
Or the super tooltip. And
okay. So guys, if you have any question, we have like 5 minutes for the questions. So please feel free to ask your questions, and I'll try to also show them on the screen, but not guaranteed because I think YouTube questions are not coming. But yes, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you are joining from LinkedIn, from MTech Viral YouTube channel, or from the Pawan Kumar YouTube channel, so anywhere you are, just shoot the questions, and I think me and Thomas would be happy to answer them.
sure.
And in the meantime, please subscribe to the channel if you are not the subscriber already. Press the bell icon to get future updates. Like this video, and this video is not sponsored by anyone, so I don't have to mention anyone's name, but rather I would say sponsored by MTech Viral, sponsored by Get It, sponsored by which one, the other service locator. Okay, let's promote by the name of sponsorship.
Yeah.
But we are the individual developers, so I think we do promotion by ourselves, right? So that's the only thing we can do. Okay, so one question which just came is Flutter command or Get It mix in. What is the difference between them? Like some kind of feature.
Okay. Actually, that's not an and or. The thing is with or I put it in three parts. Get it is the part that allows you to access your objects anywhere. Yeah. So it solves the locator part. It has some more features, but this the most thing. So with the mix in, I am able to react on elements inside Get It in a very comfortable way. Yeah. So I can if an object changes that is inside Get It, the mixin will trigger a rebuild with the latest value, for example. So now,
awesome.
Now Flutter command is something you could best compare it as an alternative to a block. Yeah. And so what you can, for example, the big difference is, instead of pushing some message into a sink to trigger something, you call a Flutter command like a function. Yeah.
Okay.
And on the other side, a Flutter command is a value notifier. That means the result of of the function that you called will be available as value field of the value notifier interface of the command. So it makes perfectly sense. You have your model objects, and I use typically an architecture where I have some managers, and I have a manager that is, let's say, a user manager, and this user manager object has a login user command, and you register this user manager inside Get It, and with the Get It mix in, you observe you listen to the results of the login user command. And so if the login user command is triggered and has a result, the mixin will automatically allow you to update your screen.
Awesome. One more question is by Darshan. Like, he's asking, what was your inspiration to build Get It and GetX? Not GetX is not by him, by the way. I think Get It is
Not me.
what he wants.
Don't mix us. Don't mix us up.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, the reason was I was not able to get inheritance widget really working the
Mm,
way as it should at this time.
mm,
I
mm.
just didn't get it going that it will update automatically things that I wanted. And from Xamarin, I was used to use a service locator named Splat. And so the first thing was I knew streams from Xamarin. And so
Yeah,
the first thing that I did was I ported Splat and I called it Get It, added a lot of new features. And from
awesome.
there, I was happy to use it. Yeah, so I never wanted to use any inheritance widgets anymore.
Awesome, awesome. Matt is asking at the rate Thomas, yes, why not start an organization which fixes baseline salary for Flutter developers and also contributes to Flutter society? Because he does not think that Google is going to fix a baseline salary. Flutter community have to do it by themselves.
Fix what?
So his question is basically that there should be an organization, which decides a baseline salary for developers, and also that organization can contribute to, Flutter community. So that's more or less what he's saying.
Will be difficult, honestly. I
Yeah.
see. Actually, we are in the situation where a lot of people from the community also are working to support Flutter in the develop to develop Flutter further.
Hmm.
And on the other side, the problem is the Flutter team already is growing a lot. They get lot more people, but
Hmm.
even the Flutter team at Google, they have limited budgets. So
Yeah.
it's a difficult situation, and I wished we had a better solution how can we get the this work in a way paid, for example. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think as I said, GitHub with the sponsorship is a great thing, and would be very happy if also if, for example, Google chooses to sponsor some people that are active in the community.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true.
because there's also one really important thing. People were smiling when I said this the first time. Um, it's much easier to argue against your spouse. Why are
Hmm.
you spending so much time in this open source and you for
Yeah.
nothing? Yeah. And the moment
Yeah.
you can say, "Hey, no, it's not for nothing. Might not be much, but there is something coming back." Yeah.
Yeah.
And our whole industry relies on open source maintainers that do it for free, and this is something we need to have a change there. This is
Yeah.
okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ravi is saying that can you recommend one of the best Dart package which you feel useful in developing? Any package which you want to recommend? Definitely Get It is one of them.
Get it is definitely one of.
Apart from them,
I highly recommend to have a look at my functional listener package,
functions. Sure.
which
I will
is
also
more or
try.
less gives you RX like a processing function for value notifiers. This is
Okay.
something pretty cool. And oh yeah, it's difficult. We have
So many.
what I really, if you're doing with maps, Flutter Map is really an interesting alternative to the Google one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, Abhilash is saying that he missed the talk for some time, and yes, definitely it's recorded. So yeah, he's saying that he will definitely love to watch it again because
Thanks.
he missed some part of it. He's mentioning you as well, and yeah, I think that's more or less like there are some more questions, but I think we are out of time now. So I would just say that thanks, Thomas, for
Yeah.
joining us on the first episode of. Life of Dev. I have planned so many things, guys, but this is just the start, and we will see. We will maybe have Thomas once again. Maybe when I'll probably ask few more people to join, and we can probably debate about few things. That would be fun. And yes, I would definitely love you to be part of this program or any other program in the future as well. So thanks again, Thomas, for spending that much time with us and talking about your amazing journey. And I really wish you all the best for your future
Thank you.
projects as well.
Thank you. Actually,
And
I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation also, and I also just a little bit advertisement. I might I am very short before I will also start a short video series, especially on my packages.
yeah, sure, sure.
Um, and we will see how it goes. It's not so easy to get started, but I hope I can soon show something like this on YouTube. And
Yeah.
yeah, and also I hope we have a chance again to talk.
For sure, and I think it's not even advertisement, because when you are a developer, when you are doing so many things, it's I think it's like, you are the one who has to do everything for promoting yourself, right? So I think it's like kind of sharing your when you share your projects, right? You have all the rights to share the good things about it as well, and something bad also if you feel. So it's totally fine, and I'm just waiting for you to publish something on your YouTube channel probably, or any
Yep.
other place. I will definitely be a participant there, an audience there. So thank you so much again. And last question, which I forgot to ask you, was how's the pandemic thing in Germany? Did you people
Oh,
get vaccine or what?
honestly, at the moment, not really good. We are about 600 deaths a day at the moment, which is for Germany, looking at the last year, pretty high. And for example, from Monday, our schools are closed, and we will have most shops will be closed over the next 2 weeks,
Okay.
over Christmas also.
Mhm.
And but luckily for me, in my near field around, I know no one who got serious ill. And I hope that it stays there. I also hope that you are all safe. And
Yeah. Thanks. And I hope as well that everything like will be better very soon, and
yep.
we will see each other again. It's been some time now, and really looking forward for some future projects together as well. So thank you so much, Thomas, for joining again. And yeah, bye bye, and I'll see you
Bye.
again.
Yep.
Bye bye. Okay, guys, so this was Thomas Burkhart for the first episode of Life of Dev. I hope you all enjoyed it, and this is just the beginning, and we are still like finalizing many things, and we are planning so many things to do in the future episodes as well. But I will be back tomorrow as well for another episode. So I just want to give you an idea that we will be broadcasting these live sessions on Saturdays and Sundays. Maybe there can be few weeks where because of some work we might miss some of them. But yes, fortunately this will be the time, and you will see us maybe next time as well. And please go into the description, check it out, the work done by Thomas as well. And please feel free to share your experiences, and if you also want to become a part of this show, then also there's a link in the description where you can fill up a form, and you can tell me why you would want to appear here, and what's the journey you have to share with people. And again, thanks for joining. I really loved talking to Thomas and having you all asking questions, and motivating us. So see you guys very soon in the next episode of Life of Dev. And yes, keep yourself busy with work or whatever, but yes, stay safe, stay at home for now, and keep learning. Happy coding, and be happy. Bye bye, take care.